This is a guess the song intro.
Something new.
Yeah.
Guess that song.
I want to dance.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Where's the shirts and skins part? It doesn't.
I was just feeling it.
Yeah.
I made it, felt it.
Yeah. Nothing to do with shirts and skins.
Nope.
Just feeling
Absolutely
it.
nothing.
Outro better make
Brandon
that
in his spare time creates AI songs. Right?
If you change them by 10%, it's not a copyright infringement.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
YouTube
whole
will tell us.
episode's Gone.
Oh, we got a problem. Whoop. Somebody called me. We got to go on Do Not Disturb.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen on the Shirts and Skins.
Bronco Nation, thanks for joining us. This is the Shirts and Skins podcast. I'm Matt Lamb. Brandon Minor's here. Mark Moss is here.
Yep.
Whitney Houston is not here, but somebody
This isn't Whitney Houston.
we don't know who it is.
AI generated
right?
voice.
We got a big show today.
I'm back.
Brandon's back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Thanks for abandoning us in Mexico.
On the bye week.
That was a good time.
Dude, by the way.
Did you plan the vacation knowing it was the bye week?
No, but
Bring
watching.
that music down, bro.
Oh, sorry. Just getting good, dude.
Dude, Mark is
if you
getting salty.
Very salty. I'm going to text your wife. Okay. You like,
By the
see
way,
what's going on.
I have a beef to bring up about Mark later.
Uh-oh.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Pile on Mark today.
Can I tell you how difficult it is to watch BSU football in Mexico?
Oh.
How difficult?
You can't do YouTube
It's so
TV.
hard. You can't do YouTube TV, which makes no sense.
Yeah, because you're out of the country.
Which makes no sense to me.
Goes against the terms of service.
Well, whatever. So I was just watching highlights as people would post on Twitter.
Oh,
So
brutal.
it's like,
Were you like following BJ?
yeah.
pretty much?
I was like,
I
come
think
on.
you might be able to do a VPN situation.
I didn't have a VPN. I didn't want to buy it. And plus, it's central. It started at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm like
tough.
in bed, refreshing, and I'm like expecting to see another Jeanty long run every time I refresh.
Didn't happen.
Well,
One time.
54 yards.
We talked
right?
One time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one.
Yeah, we talked about this, Brandon.
Yeah,
I listened.
I don't.
Okay, good.
Did
Did you
Nice.
listen to the
Yeah, I
podcast?
listened to the
beach?
podcast.
Right
So,
on. Cool.
International reach.
Oh boy.
Oh, geez.
Brandon, what do we got on our list?
We got a lot.
You put a lot of
Yeah.
thought and effort into
I had a week
outline
off.
today.
Did you get did you lay off yourself from work? I feel like you've been the last few days, just a lot of extra time on your hands. You're making AI music.
Yep.
You're sending us conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat videos.
McDonald's. Yeah.
You're listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I actually wanted to do a shout
Are you
out.
still working?
That's not important.
We are in a different building. Wait a second
Oh, yeah.
here. What's going on? Did you
New
get
studio?
what happened?
Well, we're at Citadel Packaging Studio. We moved over.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Brandon got evicted.
Although I am a little upset there's no American flag.
There's no American flag. You
There's
have
no
a
nothing.
nice contrasting black backdrop behind you.
Also, no Bex Gentry.
There's no shout out to Bex Gentry. Sorry. Maybe we're not going to bring her. She stays in your office.
Yeah.
We'll get somebody else.
Another Peloton instructor. We're in a new setting, a new office
Yeah.
for some reason.
New studio.
Yeah, new studio.
Yeah.
Oh,
Change it up.
Yeah, change it up.
We got
So
Yeah, we
anyway, hey, can I do a shout out?
Let's hear it.
Linda M. Look up 1991.
Dude, she leaves a lot of comments on her.
I love that lady.
yeah.
Okay, she's commented 35 times on our channel.
Oh, you can tell that?
Yeah,
Okay.
and she comments on like BJ Reigns and stuff. She is
She's in it.
an avid fan, and she's awesome.
She's in it to win it.
Linda M.
Okay.
So listener of the week.
There we go.
She listens to all of our stuff. At least she comments on like all of our stuff.
So
and it's awesome.
Look up 1991. What is this in reference to?
Is that her? What's that mean?
That's her
Handle?
Handle.
Her YouTube handle.
So what was her comment?
Well, she's had several.
She's at 35.
So
What do you
you're
want
just
to go?
giving her a shout out for comment.
Do you
I
not
thought there was
read
something.
Linda's comments, Mark?
I didn't catch that Linda's been that frequent. I do try
Yeah.
and follow the.
But Linda's, well, I'll give you a Linda comment.
do
2
it.
weeks ago, Linda said, Harrison the Fourth, nerd alert. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to follow him just to troll him. We need a bunch costume.
yeah, nice. I remember that.
So
I
she's
didn't know that was
good.
Linda. I like
yeah,
Linda.
that was Linda. No, Linda's the best,
good.
man.
Okay.
Like I saw her commenting on one of BJ's live.
Has she sent cookies though?
Well, that
Come
was
on
a
now.
different
Come
listener of the
on.
week.
All right,
Different
Okay.
listener of the week.
All right.
This
You
one's
don't
Linda.
have to send cookies to be listener of the week.
Although-
we would eat them.
We would eat them.
It's not a requirement, though.
I just I've always wanted to shout out to Linda because she's freaking awesome. Shout out to another listener who owes us lunch.
Who's that?
Dayton.
Big D.
Dayton.
D.
Robison.
Dayton Robinson.
He's done a lot of work for this. How's he owe us lunch? We actually owe him lunch.
That's true.
What are we talking about? We owe that guy lunch.
I have multiple spreadsheets in our DMs that Dayton has sent us.
Goodness, he owes us lunch. What are we
I think
talking
he's
about?
just happy
We owe
to
this
be-
guy a smorgasbord.
I think he's just happy to be done with tax season, and he's like, "Let's go to lunch." So yeah, we probably should pay for him.
Oh, yeah, we definitely should.
That's a good point.
Why did you bring that up? Why is
He
owe us lunch?
tweeted at us that he's going to drive down and we'll go to lunch.
Yeah,
That'll
he's
be
an
awesome.
Eastern Idaho guy, and
Yeah.
so he said next time he's in town,
Okay.
let's go to lunch.
Let's do it.
I don't know. Listener
I
update.
have no objections.
Listener update to that. We're going to do
Okay.
that. We should have a listener lunch sometime.
Yeah,
BJ does those things.
Does he?
Yeah.
He does like caravans.
Oh no, he
down
does
to
it for
games.
all of his sponsors. He does all that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, he does. He does things
yeah.
at games.
By the way, this episode coming to you ad free.
That's true.
yeah,
By the way,
That's true.
yeah, always ad free. Although I want to talk to you guys about some product placement
Oh,
potentials.
well. Okay. Can I start us off?
you already did like
I'm sorry.
10 minutes ago.
I'm ready to go. There's
Let's
a bunch of
actually
stuff.
start. We do have a big.
I
list.
have
Let's
a bunch
roll.
of stuff I want to go into.
Let's roll.
Yeah.
This guy, Matt, you can actually bring up the playoff prediction that this guy put out.
Here we go.
And
Bud Elliott.
Bud Elliott
On
put out a
screen.
playoff. It's on screen. You guys should have it in your text messages. But Bud Elliott's prediction is that we are the 10th seed playing Notre Dame the first week. So it's not the 12 or the 11. We're the 10th seed. We play Notre Dame, which I think is an incredibly favorable. Well, check this out. It could be the last game of this season and one of the first few games of next season.
So we play Notre Dame.
We play Notre Dame. I think that's incredibly favorable to us. I think a run game travels really well. A good defense travels really well.
Well, so obviously we'll talk about.
Hey,
Whoa.
new. Oh, great, dude. Come on. I get kicked out of my office. Matt's not paying the
Not paying the
rent.
electricity bill. We're gonna show up to Hidden Springs Physical Therapy next because you schmoes can't pay your bills.
Dayton, can we
What
film
the-
at your office?
Dayton, do you? What the heck is going
Apparently, we're not
on?
moving
What's
enough.
going on?
For, it's a motion sensor. Apparently,
Okay, keep it moving.
Mark, start.
We're gonna talk
flap
more
your
about.
wings every once in a while.
That's a
Mark.
problem.
We're gonna talk more about.
I think we win
getting
that
there.
game. I think we win that
Well,
game.
look at this list, okay? I didn't look at this before. The reality is that I think we're a really good team this year. Whether or not we're going to win this weekend, that's another story.
Okay.
But I think we're a good team. And if I look at this top 12 list,
Who could we beat?
we could beat Miami. We could beat Notre Dame. We could beat Indiana. We could beat
Iowa State.
We could beat Penn State. We could beat half those teams.
Penn State.
I think
Bro,
we
I don't
could.
know.
They
We
don't
almost beat
scare
Oregon.
me.
We almost beat Oregon at
Yeah,
Oregon.
I mean, again, we could lose this weekend. We'll talk about and by no means are we a
Okay,
shoe-in.
you can take it off
But
there.
there's a lot of games that there's a lot of teams in that projected that if we get a favorable matchup, like you just said, it's not like I don't feel like we're potentially going to get in there and get blasted. Like there were years in the past.
Last
Remember
year.
that
Last year.
where maybe one of the first few, and it was like, do we even want to get into a New Year's Six game? Because if we get there, we're going to get blasted.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that at all this year.
I think
Well, we hung with Oregon, man. I
Absolutely
mean,
we did.
You know,
Absolutely we did.
number one team in the country.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've proven we can play with
Absolutely.
good teams.
I just think a run game travels well. And a run game does well late in the season.
I think our team, with how we're built right now, if we can, I think going up against a top SEC team would probably be tough. Let's be
Not
honest,
great.
because their defensive line is so strong.
There's how many Big Ten teams in there? Ohio State,
Penn State,
Indiana.
Indiana, and Oregon. So there's 4 of those.
and then Iowa State.
Iowa State, give me a break. Them and BYU. How do those teams keep winning? I watched the end of both those games, and
Tell us your
kidding
thoughts
me?
on the Big 12. You've been talking a lot about the Big 12.
Yeah. I just think that it sucks we're not in there because we would do fine this year in the Big 12. I'm not saying we're going to go in there and dominate. I mean, Utah fans, they were a little bit, they thought they were going to go into that league and roll. But just looking at this year's team, there's no one in the Big 12 that scares me that we couldn't beat. Not saying we go undefeated.
Who's the
but
best team in the Big 12 right now?
Right now it's Iowa State and BYU. Come on. And I don't know. I just feel like we could contend very nicely with it.
I was talking to a BYU alum Not hard to find.
Watch out.
Not hard to find.
Not hard to find around here.
Not hard to find around here.
Watch out.
Okay.
Does he have 1980? Did he talk to you about 1984 or Ty Detmer's
Actually,
Heisman?
he did.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
But
they
dude,
all do.
Can you blame him if Jeanty wins the Heisman? I'm talking about it in 34 years or 40 years. Okay, I'm talking about it. All right,
Okay.
I'm going to be that guy.
Okay.
Anyway, apparently, BYU shelled out a decent amount of money in football and basketball for NIL stuff.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
Basketball, yes.
Basketball, yes.
Their best players in football are from Weber State. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
How do you know their whole roster?
I don't know their whole
NIL
roster. I've watched enough BYU. Their recruiting rankings averages mid-60s. Tell me one good transfer they got.
Don't ask me that
Tell me,
question.
of course. This guy.
Well, I can't tell you a good transfer for any team.
That's
Besides
fine.
ours.
That's fine. But I mean, I've watched enough BYU to know their quarterback's a JUCO. He was a top JUCO quarterback.
There you go. There's a good transfer.
There's a good they're not paying six figures for that guy to come in.
They paid him some money.
Their best players are Weber State transfers that came with their coach.
They have a good donor base, like
They
Ryan
do have
Smith.
a good donor base. They're
Qualtrics.
I can see that. My impression of
Jazz.
BYU was that they were siphoning a lot of the NIL dollars to the basketball team.
Well, in his defense, he was talking mainly about the basketball.
Oh yeah, they have. They are. I don't think they've done a whole lot for football, from what I can tell.
BJ was saying their basketball team has like a lottery pick on it.
Yeah,
like a top.
No,
10
they
guy.
have. No, I think that they feel. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but I don't think they haven't gotten any big transfers in that they're paying money to. Their recruiting class in football are not impressive whatsoever. They're very much Boise State-esque. So the fact that they're 7-0 is impressive. They've won games. I've watched parts of 2 or 3 games.
Are we concerned Mark knows this much about BYU?
I'll tell you why I know it, because
he's super salty, dude. In all of
I'm
his texts,
salty in everything right now. Just it's a salty time of life right now.
Gatorade has salt in it, man.
That's probably the problem.
Electrolytes.
well, anyway,
That your buddy, 84, dude. Freaking 84.
I do agree. The Big 12, I don't know that we'd be the record that we'd have.
We'd be right there. We'd be right there with this year's team, I think.
Well, if you gave us a year to recruit to the Big 12, which we would be doing, like BYU.
That's my point. BYU hasn't recruited. BYU's best players are Weber State players, and they're winning the Big 12. That's what I'm saying. That we would be fine in the Big 12 this year.
Okay.
I agree.
I see. If this playoff picture works out, the one that Matt was showing, I say we have a 45% chance beating Notre Dame. I guess it's at Notre Dame.
It's at Notre Dame, but
At Notre Dame.
I like our chances.
I don't think the spread would be over 7.
Absolutely not.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to start with. I figure.
That's a good graphic.
I figure.
84,
Whatever.
come on.
I mean,
Hey.
that's what they have. You can't take it away from
Yep.
ever.
Yep. It's true. That's why we need it too.
Halloween's coming up.
Yes.
Boogeyman.
Do you need a costume idea?
Do you need a shirt that is Halloween themed?
Dude, do we need to post that up on this? Do you want me to show it? I'll send it to you right now.
I mean, you can.
Okay.
But cool merch dropped. That's what Brandon is digging up.
Yes.
Ashton Jeanty, if you go to the NIL store.
Is that like a college thing?
Yeah.
It's just like,
I
but
think
it's like a separate.
I think each team has a store, and then the players within that team have, their little store. But I took it home, showed it to my 13-year-old son, and he begged and pleaded to get him a new hoodie.
Okay, this is timely, and I'm really sorry. Breaking news on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here
Timely.
we go. This isn't the first time that we've broken
Well,
news.
breaking it to me and you guys.
People will hear it tomorrow. So I'm not
Okay,
breaking
well,
it down, but
this is
what's
a
up?
post from Ashton Jeanty.
Okay.
Yeah, he was supposed to come out with something new.
He
There
just
it
did.
is.
This is the big deal.
This is it.
Our reaction live.
Yeah, Deuce. Right now, Ashton Jeanty posted, I'm launching a football scholarship at Boise State to help future Broncos realize their dreams. Will you join me? More info on this link.
Freaking stud.
He's just like
The guy's hitting all the
yeah,
right
so
notes.
here's his goal. So it's ponyup.boisestate.edu. You can follow, and it's rushing toward legacy. There's 49 days left. The goal of 200,000. Making a gift. I'm doing it right now.
Brandon doing it.
This is kind of cool. Check this out.
Yeah.
How much would you like to give? 21. Ashton Jeanty averaged 21 carries per game.
Oh,
77. His longest touchdown. 208.
This is clever marketing right
This
here.
is good, dude. 208 average yards per game. 586. Anybody? 586 yards in the first 3 games. 1,000, you'll receive 1 signed Ashton Jeanty poster. 2,628. Anybody guess what that would be significant?
Barry's record.
That's kind of cool. I'm donating right now. What do you think about that?
Do they accept Bitcoin?
Bro, that's a decent. That'll get them, a fourth of the way there. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing
All right,
here.
Jeanty's a stud. They're doing a good. Speaking of this, they're doing a good job over Boise State.
Phone number?
Marketing him. He's hitting all the right stuff. He responded to. Were we going to talk about that later?
Let's talk about it now, Mark.
Okay.
Brandon's over here.
He's just hitting all the right notes. He's such a good kid, so it's not like they're having to dress it up. They're not having to put lipstick on a pig. I mean, the guy is a genuine individual. I run into him a couple times. We did a
name dropping, Mark.
Hello.
No, not like, but just like at an autograph thing with him and Talon last year.
Yeah.
Kids, he's great with the kids.
I'm not donating on behalf of Shirts and Skins.
Of course you're not. We knew that. Come on. We knew you weren't doing that. Okay.
From our, this can come out of our budget.
What budget?
We don't have the budget.
We already
we don't
said
have a
this.
budget.
Oh,
We're in
I
the
got to
negative.
put my donation.
Anyways, I think that he's just a great kid. They're doing a great job. But yeah, so Travis Hunter came out sometime last week.
Dude, Travis, calm down, bro.
Basically, what did he say? Basically, he's like,
If I had 85 catches or whatever. I'm like,
95, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like we haven't
don't.
seen a good running back before, but what I'm doing is special. What I'm doing is different, right? And he is special. He is good, but obviously that gave Jeanty the chance to take the high road, which he did.
Yeah.
And I think he would anyways, but I don't know. I just...
It's a good statement. He just said everybody has their opinion and whatever.
So I just think...
Danielson talked about Jeanty today at the presser.
Yeah.
Brandon and I were there.
Oh, Brandon showed up? Of course Brandon showed up. Brandon got evicted.
Mark was... I picked up Brandon on the side of the road.
Haven't already eaten lunch.
Mark wasn't there.
No.
Mark's
dude,
not going to go to these freaking...
I need to schedule it 2 weeks in advance.
they're on Mondays, bro.
Okay,
It's
I'm
not
gonna
like
schedule it
the
in 2
next
weeks.
one is in Monday.
I know, I forget. And by the time I remember, I'm like, frick, I got patience.
Anyway.
2 weeks from now, I'll do
There
it.
you go.
20, sorry.
21 bucks,
sorry.
the lowest option?
Sorry.
You went on the...
That took me a long time.
Well, why did you just show it quickly and be like, 77 or whatever?
No, 21. I'm sorry. I just
21.
I'm sorry.
Thankfully, you didn't put our name on that disgraceful...
Sorry.
21.
No, but Danielson talked about Jeanty today.
Jeez.
Very cool.
Can't do anything good.
All the media attention to him is a big deal. Danielson's like, I deal with a lot, and I don't even know the magnitude of which Jeanty is dealing with it. And so Danielson talks to him a ton. He said they go to church together. They have these talks together. But one of the things is he's like, I'm checking up on Ashton. I'm asking him what he's feeding himself. And he's like, I'm not talking about food, but, what you're putting in your mind, what you're putting in your brain, because there's a lot of outside noise. And I think Ashton is, behaving well. He's handling things really well as far as all this hype. And I think he's got a good support group around him, which you need. Or you could easily say something really stupid, look like a fool, and just run your campaign into the ground. I think they're doing a good thing.
I had kind of a depressing thought the other day.
Uh-oh.
Usually it's just kidding. We don't even
Stop
Mark.
it.
Yeah, usually it's like, Mark, you doing all right? We're checking on Mark. Like,
What are you talking
is he-
about?
No.
Are you driving?
I'm talking about Mark when you get excited about basketball and he's like,
Oh, dude, freaking!
never-
I won't
Let's
even
talk
tell
about
Mark.
that.
No,
I want to talk
yeah.
about it.
we will.
F it. Come on. Go
Chill,
ahead.
just chill. I'm bummed that next season we won't have Ashton.
Yeah.
Like I'm like legitimately disappointed because we
Enjoy
had
it
4.
while it lasts,
I
man.
know. We had 4 years of Kellen Moore at his like fullest. That's why we're all chasing that same high at quarterback of a freshman starting at quarterback because we're like, 4 years again. You could just do that, but we really only had Ashton for 1 year.
The height of it
For sure. And so, I mean, this is about as special of a season, as special as a runner as I've ever seen. And to have him play for our freaking school, that's amazing,
dude, everybody is talking about him.
Everybody's talking about him. And,
Everybody.
And it's amazing. And it's bummed that I'm going to be like, we have mere mortals running again, and Sire Gaines looks awesome and the guys look great and whatever and all this stuff. That's great. And maybe we can recruit more and maybe rushing towards a legacy. The Ashton Jeanty scholarship will bring
Pony
in
up.
we'll bring in a little bit more.
$21 later.
It's
He's $21 closer to the goal.
100% agree. 100%
Anyway,
agree.
just kind of bummed.
Well, yeah,
How
but I agree. It's just you keep what I know we've talked about this a little bit, but it's almost like he's been so good, and you just wonder, like, can he keep it up? You know what I mean? Like, how
Part of the excitement.
it is. But I also like it's going to be weird. There's going to be a game, and maybe it's this Friday that he rushes for 26 carries for 112.
Stop.
You know what I mean? And it's going to be like there goes his Heisman campaign. I feel like which is what it is, right?
He hasn't been human yet.
He hasn't been human yet, and that's what's keeping a G5 running back even in the conversation.
Can we just reach out to UNLV and just say, look, do you mind if we score 42 points, like all by running? And let's just say you can score 35 and then have the ball last.
Dirk's going to do that anyway. He doesn't need to
I'm just
call
going to say, like, can you just let Ashton run for 300 yards? Like, can we just do that? I mean, can we just like make an agreement and be like, look,
offer him $21.
Done.
See what you can do.
Done. I gave it. He doesn't even need that.
Text Barry Odom.
I just think, look, do you remember when everybody wanted to knock us off at BSU, and so we wouldn't make the New York Six? And we were always like, don't. That's stupid.
It's hurting.
You're going to get money because we're going to go. So don't do that. But they're all like, oh, you suck, whatever. And it's like, look, can we just agree this year alone? This is the only year. Okay?
They're good on defense too. Getting into UNLV a little bit.
Yeah,
They're good.
Let's talk UNLV.
I've watched parts of a few of their games, similar to
you're
84.
just an expert now at everything.
No. I watched part of their Oregon State game this weekend.
I did as well.
They look different than most Mountain West teams. Would you agree? Defensively,
Yeah.
They fly around.
Woodard.
They got athletic dudes. And really, when you look at it, Woodard was a transfer from Missouri or Arkansas or LSU.
Good. They have a lot of interceptions.
They have 13 interceptions. We have 1. We need to talk about that. But they look different. They hit hard. They fly to the ball. They fly around. They look like a Power 4 team. They really do, I think, defensively.
Wow.
More so than your Boise State Broncos?
I don't know. It's so hard to know. I mean, we got Tubner roaming around in the back. He doesn't look Power 4 to me at all. You know what I mean? Just like the look of it. I'm just saying the look.
I think the front seven,
the way they move. Yeah,
look just fine.
I'm not saying they're better or worse than us. I'm just saying that it's going to be a good game, and you know that they've got. I mean, it's a Friday night. Of course, CBS Sports late, but
That's
they're going to have a plan for Ashton. We'll see what happens. I think that this is going to be a tough game.
Everybody has a plan
sure.
for Ashton. Everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but I think they have the
mouth,
athletes. I think they have the athletes to do something about it.
Well, the whole point of the offense was to do this, right? Cue in 100% on Ashton, dump it to the tight end, make some plays at wide receiver, go back to Ashton, go to the tight. I mean, the whole point of the offense of why we liked it was that you overcommit to one thing, and then we have the guys to take you away. I mean, Bolt.
Do we? And that's the question.
Three touchdowns in 3 games?
Yeah.
Camper?
We'll see.
I'm pretty sure I called that. Hot take.
Turnovers. They are leading the nation in the turnover margin category.
Yeah,
we are not.
Hey, one thing Dirk did bring up, though.
We are not.
4th down stops.
Should be counted as a turnover.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
And that makes sense.
Because, picking a ball off, that's a huge deal. But shutting somebody down on 4th down, also a huge
How many
deal.
4th down stops did we have against Washington State?
Had a couple.
We've had a couple this year.
We had 3 against Hawaii, right? Or 2? We had a couple against Hawaii.
Yeah, we had a couple.
I mean, if you add those in as turnovers, which they are.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on, they are.
Sure,
Where are we going?
But it's like I'm trying to think, what the good analogy is. But it's like we really suck at turnovers. So, but we're okay at 4th down. So
we are.
But we suck at getting traditional turnovers. I don't.
Brandon was about to ask.
I was about to ask a question today in the presser.
So close. Raise your hand if you've asked a question.
Yeah.
The guy that only showed up to one. 1 for 1, baby.
Actually, check the record. Check the record.
The record
you
says
didn't
Matt.
ask a question.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, who
the
was your?
record says Matt.
Sean Goodwin.
Sean Goodwin.
So,
dude, they
really
didn't,
only Matt.
Re-ask the question. They didn't
But
have you.
my
re-ask
name
the
is the
question.
only one in the transcript.
Can I tell you about asking questions in the pressers?
You start clamming up like a.
No, So here's the thing. Number one, I don't feel like I need it to be happy.
True.
Okay. No, I'm not saying you guys do either.
You haven't experienced it yet.
I haven't experienced it. I can't chase that high. That's true. But also, I don't want to, and this may sound cowardly. I don't want to take time from the page.
No, that's how I felt the exact same way.
Yeah.
I was waiting for an opening today.
That's what I.
Yeah,
With Chenander, our guy.
and that's why we always wait till the last question.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do Dirk. I recorded Dirk a couple times because I was ready for him to be snarky and like get after somebody. Didn't do that.
He was nice today. Dirk at the beginning, he's like, "All right, questions for Dirk." It was quiet,
Yeah.
and then it started rolling. But if you were ready, you could have thrown.
That's
it
like,
out.
you know what that's like?
Should have been the first.
He has a gun, and we're all sitting there like, first person that goes is gonna get shot. Everybody else can make it, but that first person. No, you know what I was gonna ask?
Go ahead.
I'm also very scared that I ask a question that's already been asked, but I don't
gotta
think this has been
listen.
asked.
Okay.
It hadn't been asked.
Like the whole season.
What was your
like,
question going to be?
I was gonna say, dear coach,
Eric,
Mr. Eric, was it deliberate to not have a turnover ritual, like a belt or a throne or whatever?
Yeah.
Chain.
And so I was waiting for my time, and
The thing is, they may have one. We just haven't.
We
seen
don't
it.
see it, bro. They haven't done it.
There was
He's
one
like, actually,
pick
it's sitting
right
there
before.
ready.
He's like, no, we got one.
The turnover trash can. Who had that, dude? That was so bad.
Because the only pick was right before
Well, we
half
had-
against
yeah.
Washington State,
And they
so
just
didn't-
cut.
Yeah, it's like
Probably
well,
do.
well, they had
one.
the fumbles at Georgia State.
They might have something.
Georgia
I
Southern.
thought they have
We
something they
didn't
hang
recover
up.
them,
Don't they
did
have
we?
something they
Yeah,
hang
we
up like a
did.
little
Yes, we did.
skeleton or skull thing or something? What am I thinking of?
You're thinking
Well-
like 10 years ago when this
Turnover
became a
throne.
thing.
Well, some teams still do that.
Yeah, they do.
I just didn't know
we
if that was.
don't.
It's not a bad question.
I just didn't
What
know
do you
if-
think Chenander would have said? Like, oh, hey, yeah, we should do that.
They'd be like, bro, who are you? And what I want to say is, Coach, Brandon from Shirts and Skins here. How's your weekend? And then
He's like, I know
just
who
get
you
on the
are.
record.
I know who you are.
Anyway,
He
that's
does
what I was
not
going to
know
ask.
who
I don't think we have one. Maybe I can ask it next time.
Maybe you can.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Anyway.
Maybe Chenander will leave a comment because he
Yeah,
watches
you know
this.
he's
Of
listening.
course he does.
Are we going to go over predictions at the end?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So at the presser, they talked a lot about their wide receiver.
yeah.
Ricky White.
Ricky White the third or something.
He's blocked 100 punts.
3 punts. He blocked 3
Yeah,
himself.
he's blocked some punts, which I wish we'd get back to again. Like put Bolt in, put in Prince Strawn to block punts. He's freaking tall, fast.
Dude, Austin Pettis used to block punts.
Yeah.
Or field goals.
The dynamic of good
Punts,
special
field goals,
teams has left us, and we are trying to lure it back, and we haven't.
We paid someone a lot of
8
money to
years.
come back and do it, and it's been not great, dude. We had one return touchdown.
This is
The
removing
kickoff.
the kicker
Dylan
and
Riley.
the kicker and the
Dylan
punter.
Riley had, yeah. I'm just saying, well, yeah, but I'm just like, Prater today on the radio or maybe on BJ's show or something was like, yeah, special teams in up and down and up and down. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's in down, 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 up, down.
What was up last year?
No,
the
this
kickoff
year
return.
we had
This
one
year.
kickoff return. Otherwise, it's been a net negative every game.
Take out that kickoff return, and Washington State beats us, according to that one tweet.
Oh yeah, right.
Kidding me. Anyway,
yeah, it was worth 21 points too. That was
But
special.
yes.
that was Utah State.
That was pretty special.
was that Utah State?
yeah.
Oh, that's right. The kicking game's been fine. Been good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, JFR got hurt, so the punting hasn't
I don't know
been
about
great.
kickoff game.
Well, we haven't.
Kickoff's been horrible. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
come on. I'm
Your
talking
case,
about
your case has a lot of holes in it.
Jonah Dalmas has done great, and he
Okay.
could win.
Swiss
he could
cheese
beat.
over here.
He could beat.
You've whittled your argument down to Jonah Dalmas, which he is great.
fifth-
We
year
play.
guy.
We play.
We play football.
Yeah, we've fielded a team every time we've done
High
special
fives
teams.
on the way out. We're doing okay.
Yeah, where's the
Here's my
crowd
thing with Jonah.
tunnel?
Here's my thing with the kickoffs. If you may, you brought up Jonah Dalmas. Why are we on 3 kickoff specialists and Jonah's not kicking any of them? I mean, I trust. I have to feel like he has a nagging injury and they're just keeping him for just because he's an NFL prospect. He wants to go to the NFL. He hasn't kicked a single kickoff. Of all the issues we've had with kickoffs this year,
I thought
out of
early in the
bounds.
season. No,
Maybe week
Not
1.
lately, though.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care if he has the strongest leg. I'm going to trust our, isn't he a team captain?
yeah,
Team captain, 5th-year senior, little bit of a paunch going on.
My former neighbor.
Your former neighbor.
That's the important part to talk about.
I trust him to put the ball where it needs to go. I don't even know the other guy's names.
Jarrett Reeser.
He should be out there.
Jarrett Reeser gets pumped.
Forget
if
screw
you watch,
the pump thing, dude.
Stop it.
Kick it through
Stop
the end
it.
zone.
No, listen.
Don't kick it out of bounds.
He does,
get
dude.
I know.
Look at our YouTube channel.
I think Shive is the one kicking it out.
Look at our YouTube channel.
I've seen the YouTube
Go to the
channel.
short.
I've seen it.
He gets the crowd fired.
Number 30, when he gets it through the end zone, he just won the
We need
World
more
Series.
people looking at that
Just
guy.
won
'cause
the
I just don't understand why our all-league kicker isn't kicking. I don't get it.
field goals, Mark. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't
he's
know.
trying to keep his
No.
NFL body.
No, you want to show the NFL you can kick it through the back of the end zone. So I think he's got an injury that no one knows about. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
to
that's
me.
too bad. But I don't think the punting game has been a problem because we haven't had to punt very much.
Yeah, that's true.
We're
It
just
hasn't been a
we have
problem.
A lot of drives and whatever.
Yeah.
UNLV predictions at the end.
Yep.
Can I say the following about the current state of BSU sports? Could this be the best year for Boise State sports of all time?
Men's sports. You mean football and basketball?
Men's sports.
We're not talking about
And-
gymnastics or softball. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
gymnastics.
Sexist.
These are pretty good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yes. To answer
Is
your
it? Is
question.
it? This is the best year of all
No,
time.
no, not
yes,
yet.
Yes, yes.
It has the potential to be.
Yes.
If we make a playoff and we win an NCAA tournament game, then it has to be.
Then the year 2024-25 is the best year of Boise State sport. Men's
Could be.
football, basketball.
Could be.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
And you know who anchors both of those? Number 2.
Number 2.
How
Which
wild is that?
Daggy wasn't supposed to be number 2, apparently. That wasn't his first choice.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I just think
Worked out.
I'm so grateful that we have those two guys.
Dude.
Like Daggy has been transformational for this basketball team. I mean, the moment that Leon put him in the starting lineup his freshman year, they went on like a 13-game win streak. They made it to the NCAA that year. I mean, he's like carried them through the Mountain West. Mark won't get off his back. He's hitting on Matt's wife. I mean,
is
he's just
hitting on-
doing stuff that
There's photo evidence of
Photo
that.
proof.
he's taking our wives. He's maybe
Not
that's
my
why.
wife.
Hide your kids.
Not mine, Dad.
Hide your wife.
Anyway, I'm super pumped for basketball season. We're already 1-0. We already played University of Washington and beat them.
Secret scrimmage.
The secrets. We play
Counts.
Speaking of BYU, we play them in a secret scrimmage in Provo.
If we
later
beat
this week.
BYU,
Yeah, they're supposed to be pretty good.
that would mean that we should be a top 25 team all year. I mean, have you looked at the schedule?
Yeah. We have an easier non-con than
Mark,
normal, right?
Yeah, something that Mark's been
Mark,
badgering everybody about.
what's
schedule?
What's
Yes.
your season ticket status for basketball, Mark?
Negative. Dude, I can't do season tickets for basketball.
Why?
There's way too many games and kids and sport. Do you guys
I
have?
got the flex pass.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What's the flex pass?
You're basically up in the balcony.
Because just which corner of the balcony? Right
yeah,
on.
I
Right
did
on.
it.
That
I've done it
sounds
like
fun.
3 years in a row now.
Yeah.
First year, you got some mezzanine and even parquet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's
this
not
year. Forget
happening.
about it.
Yeah.
How much do those cost?
It's like $125 a ticket. And you get
How
all
many
the home
games?
games.
Yeah.
See, so here's my plan.
Not
125 for
Clemson.
the
How
whole
many
season.
home games
Not Clemson.
are there? 13, 15?
You don't get Clemson.
Are you sure?
They were.
No.
You don't get. We don't get one of those. They're played at Idaho Center.
Washington State.
Okay,
It's at the
yeah.
Idaho
You
Central.
don't get Clemson. I thought they were emailing out.
No,
that
it's a
they play.
Sunday. That you're
Maybe
thinking
you
that
don't get
because
to
it's a
go.
Sunday game, or it's a Sunday game. Clemson's a Sunday
I'm
game.
going, dude. That
Yeah,
game's gonna be
but
sweet.
the Washington State game is the same day as the Mountain West Championship.
Ooh.
So it's like our two top games are kind of weird. But no, my plan is this. Do you have them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I love it.
You don't
Yeah.
think
I freaking love
Brandon
it.
There's no way you're going to every game. There's no way you're going to every game. Who do I get to
never
see
did.
Not
every
you,
week?
you
baby?
freaking hate
Who do
it.
I get to see every week? Hey,
I refuse.
hey.
I will sell them to opposing
hell
team.
No,
yes,
no.
I will.
I'm gonna weasel my way into a couple
giving
of
him
games this
Dayton.
year. From
Dayton's
both
gonna
of you
DM
two.
me.
Me and Dayton will go together. Okay,
That's
but
not a bad
I'll
idea.
weasel my way in using your guys' tickets. and
I'm
it's gonna be
pumped, dude.
fabulous.
I honestly think we could own San Diego State again, like we do every freaking year. Somehow, it's amazing.
Yep. Yep.
I think we need to get a good seed. We need to win the regular season champs and at least make it to the semis.
So not
To
lose
hope for
round
an
one. You're
8.
saying not lose round one. Because Leon's good at that.
Okay. Well,
we're quite good at that.
No, I've been.
You've been to the one.
I've been to the Las Vegas tournament when we won the whole thing.
Yeah, we've won it once in 14. You're right. We did. You were there.
Okay.
It was a good year to go.
That was a great year.
I went last year.
Oh,
Front row. Remember?
Yeah, you started
tweet with the
pissing off
Lobo fans?
everybody.
Fantastic game, but we lost. And,
Do you know who was it? Who you got a shout out on BJ's Bronco Nation News when Jay Tust? Wasn't it? What was it?
Is that when you were down there?
Yeah,
you got on the show?
No. Just 2 weeks
just
ago.
recently? Yeah,
they
he's
were
like Jay was like, yeah, Mark Mosca. I thought he was a
no,
jerk, but he's not.
somebody tweeted in. They're like, hey, did you see that Shirts and Skins is in the presser? And BJ's like, did you see that, Jay? And Jay's like, that Mark Mosca I actually thought was a jerk. And then I met him.
Surprisingly not.
Surprisingly nice guy. Everybody hates you on Twitter. And so
that was a bad start to my Twitter life.
Can I bring up me reaching out to JD?
Go for it. Actually, go for it. Yeah.
So I reached out to Jeremiah Dickey.
Because we want him on the pod.
So
We'd love to
struck
have
out
him.
here, struck out there, right? You've tried to.
Yeah, to
Okay,
JD.
yeah.
Okay.
So Brandon reached out
now
to
goes
his
Matt.
scheduling guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know who that
Crickets.
is. Crickets.
I've
I
heard those
DM
crickets.
him on Twitter.
I've done that too.
Well, not DM.
I
You
have
probably
DMs
mentioned
for
him.
my personal one. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
his
have.
DMs are open.
Oh, DMs are open. Oh,
His DMs
okay.
are open.
Actually,
My
I
bad.
should tell you guys about that secret. Me and
Wait, but
JD.
this is prior to the
okay.
pod.
This is like
This is
3
prior
weeks
to
ago. Oh, he responded all right.
He responded
What?
to you?
Yeah.
What? What?
Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys. We decided not. We're going to go into this topic later. Why don't you finish, then I'll tell you.
Wait.
Well, this may
could
nullify what I
change it.
It had
said.
nothing to do with the pod. Had nothing to do with the pod.
Okay. Well, you don't know what I said to JD.
Crap.
That's a
So
problem.
I invited him. I was like, "Hey, man."
Wait, did you do this from the shirts?
Yeah, from the and I put my name. And I was like, "Hey, Jeremiah, we'd love to have you on the podcast. We think your experience is ChatGPT helped write it,
Okay.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Nothing, no response, nothing.
Yeah.
Not even like, hey, kind of busy right now, whatever." And then I followed it up with, "Was it something Mark said?"
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
didn't. What
Well,
did he say?
Nothing. But you want to know why he said that?
Matter.
You want to know why he said that?
Why?
Because
I know why he said
we
that.
got inside information and somebody's like, yeah, it's because of Mark.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is.
Who
Okay,
said that?
Here we go.
Well,
This is
What are you talking about?
you won't check your freaking text messages. We
I've been
sent that.
busy. What are you talking about?
I'm pulling it up
What
right
are
now,
you talking
Mark.
about?
Okay.
It's because of you.
Here we
JD
go.
won't come on.
No.
Here we
That's
go.
what
Mark,
this person
Mark,
said.
Here we go. I was talking to the Blue Collar Club. Do you know about the Blue Collar Club?
Oh, I saw this.
Okay.
Blue collar.
They know
No.
more
You
than
think
you
Blue
do.
Collar Club is talking to Jeremiah Dickey about us?
Mark.
I read this. This is not.
Do you know who the Blue Collar Club is?
Yes.
I need to-
Yes.
hold on.
Good
Hold
guy.
What do you know about them? Good guys.
I had muted him.
Oh, you muted
I
him.
muted him. He's yelling. He's okay. Go. Sorry. Go.
So Blue Collar Club, I'd never met these people. I don't really know what they do.
That's
but,
Jordan and Derek. Is that
Morales.
same guys?
Yeah.
I don't know. This
They're
is
part of
like-
it.
Okay.
And they raise small funds and they give to the BAA.
$21.
Probably about that.
21.
21
People
bucks.
say they raise some money for the school. They do a good job. They've got a tailgate and everything.
So he said they're like a Netflix for BAA donations, $10 to $20 per month.
Sure.
Boise State
Yep, I've heard
scholarships.
that.
So if you're interested, check out the Blue Collar Club. And they're like, yeah, JD's a big fan of ours. He likes what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I said,
Because they give money.
funny story. We've reached out to JD, and he hasn't responded to us.
That is funny.
And I said, Mark probably made too many questionable comments about him on X, to which he replied, I'd say that's accurate.
Yeah, that's the Morales brothers who did not like. They don't like me on X, right? At least they historically.
Yeah, but you
had
don't
not.
know it's the Morales brothers. So.
I do know that's who they are. That's who's running it.
Who's running that account?
Yes. You think you guys aren't serious about this? You think that the freaking Blue Collar Club guys are talking to JD about our podcast?
About
Come
you?
on.
About you?
Morales doesn't like me.
Hey, do I
because
say bring down the mic volume on you? Jeez.
Morales doesn't like me. He's the guy that's go. And anytime
That's
someone
true. That's true.
you disagree with his
That
takes
doesn't
too.
mean what he said was wrong.
F you and F you. Because there's no way that might be true, but there might be true that Jeremiah hasn't talked to us because of me, but it ain't sure as heck isn't because he told Morales brothers about it. Heck no. Forget about it.
Hey,
He's inferring.
isn't Leon Rice fan, a.k.a. Jordan? Isn't that Jordan Morales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he responded to our tweet today.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
said, bros,
Yeah, he
you
went-
cannot get too excited about Boise State basketball.
Yeah,
Because you said Brandon was a little too excited.
He's
a fan.
He's a big fan. He's
no,
big
of
fan.
us. He replied to
Yeah.
us. He's nice. Mark,
We've
don't
talked-
ruin the relationship
You know what?
with
I
Jordan
like
Morales.
him fine. They one or two of those brothers blocked me years ago in my Twitter phase that I was a little aggressive. I've changed my tune. Okay. Now, I've conversed with him. I told him that we'd like to have him on. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't.
Can
come
I?
on, give
Do
me a
you
little-
mind? You guys teased a guest.
Yeah.
You guys teased a guest.
We were
a little
really
premature.
excited.
We did.
Are we going to go into this?
Yeah, let's go into it.
I don't want to name names exactly.
Okay, that's fine. I can understand that.
We reached out.
Gosh.
You
no,
guys
don't do it
teased.
because we're still.
Well, he's not going to say the
He's
name.
not going to
I don't know,
listen.
it's anyway,
Okay,
they
go
don't
ahead.
listen. That's confirmed. You guys teased a big guest, and it was a big guest.
Yeah.
It is a big
that I started conversations with. You could say negotiations with.
international conversations.
Yes, international conversations while I was away. Started the negotiations. My group reached out to his group.
Yeah.
Everything was on track for this person
Everything
to
was
join.
fine. You had a
join
phone
the
call.
pod.
You had a
Had a long
conversation.
conversation.
Because he reached out to us
Yes.
just kind of out of the blue.
After
Yes.
we had
Yeah, but
invited
we
him.
didn't-
Yes.
Months go by, we don't hear from him,
And
he
he-
reaches out.
Here's the thing. He wasn't responding to a message that we had sent from our Twitter account. He just hits us because there's no history.
Yeah.
There's no history.
Yeah.
That's
So he
true.
DM'd us.
Yes.
Right.
We
He DM'd
want
us.
this guest on bad.
We want him bad.
Our listeners want this guest on bad. We all want this guest on really bad. Incredible story. Incredibly important piece of the Boise State history. Okay?
Comment if you think you know who it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We're not going to confirm or
everything was going rosy. Everything was going great until a certain family member was outed
Of who?
of the group here. Okay. Family member was outed as being a relation to somebody on the pod. And he's like,
Which is a reminder, kids at home. Watch what you say on
I
Twitter.
guess there's
Yeah.
consequences for years long past.
And this
in
was
tweets.
years ago
Years
that
ago.
this family member
And this family member was blocked hard block. And with good reason.
Yeah.
So, like,
I read some of those.
there was much
Deserve it
deserving.
block.
Anyway, this special guest reached back out and said, "Let's put the brakes on this. This is probably not happening, dude." Which was really sad. Which was really
we were
sad.
pissed. I was upset.
So,
See, I don't think it's dead. I think it's on life support.
I think it's on life support.
There's a chance. This
There's-
person didn't shut it down.
there's a chance like Ashton Jeanty is going to return next year.
No, it's
look,
higher than that.
Higher than that.
Although his excuse was very much
There
like,
was no-
I'm cleaning my hair this weekend. That's why I can't go out on a date with you type of thing. It was not.
He didn't give an excuse.
He did. He said he was out of town.
No, he's like, here, date these other
He
girls.
said, I'm out of
Here's
town.
some
Why don't you
names."
think about these ones? And oh, by the way, you're related to so-and-so, right? Boom, crickets from there. Dang
That's
it.
true. That's
Are you
exactly what
kidding
happened.
me?
I forgot about that.
Dang it. All right, Brandon. We got
So
some.
don't look forward to a special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
And that wasn't any of us three, by the way.
Could have been.
What do you
Mark.
mean?
Could have been
Oh,
Mark.
that was the original
It
tweet?
wasn't me.
It
Yes.
wasn't us three. It was a relation of us three.
Yeah.
And of the three of us, one of us persons has a fairly aggressive tweeter.
All right. We're going to
Anyway.
keep working on that. We
Can I-
got way sidetracked.
We did get sidetracked. I do want to talk a couple things. I want to get serious.
Wait, basketball.
Okay, I'll keep going on basketball.
Okay.
The Nevada head coach had an interview with BJ
Steve
Raines.
Alford.
Yeah.
Steve Alford.
Yeah.
And he brought up something that I love. Okay. And his point is something that I've talked about that I've never understood with NIL, where he's like, look, it's out of hand. It's pay to play. The idea was name, image, likeness. That makes sense. The pay to play, the Oregon model, the Ohio State model, don't love.
Yeah. The name, image, and likeness was for guys like Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah.
The big stars.
That you
or
put
the
him on a
bigger
billboard
names.
and he gets a percentage of the sales.
Yes.
Immediately.
Before immediately.
Yeah, it was basically like you pick up the log and all the
as
bugs were already
possible.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
All the cockroaches were already there, and it was if you're on this team, you get money. And the thing that never made sense to me is people are giving hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to players. Like Mark brings up a really good point. The Utah quarterback. Okay, we'll talk about that. He gets $1 million
2 years in a row.
2 years in a
And
row.
a vehicle.
Right?
Right?
The
Of
vehicle
course,
makes sense.
all that.
The vehicle at least makes sense because you know who it's coming from. Like auto
Yeah.
dealers should be
Yeah.
all over this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Physical therapists should be all over this.
Yeah.
They should have their hands
deep pockets.
All
this.
over.
Oh, their hands are all over it.
But what doesn't make sense to me is it's like, even Ashton Jeanty, he gets paid a ton of money and he's less money than he should have been paid. But by who?
We don't
For
even
what?
know.
For who? It's like you're not getting in a return on that.
No.
So there's no name, image, likeness thing going on besides any jersey sales that he's getting, besides any hat deals or whatever he's getting that side. But everybody else.
Yeah.
The quarterback for Utah.
Cam Rising.
He
He played it down last year. He got $1 million.
$1 million.
Isn't he like 35 years old?
He's working on his 8th year next year. If he
Yeah,
wants
if
to
he
come
comes back. $1 million this year.
Yeah.
And in last game, he was atrocious.
Bad.
He was throwing with a snow glove on.
Dude.
Was he?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's what he performed like.
Oh. Well, I wonder if
Did you-
Dude, he had a glove on and he could not throw the ball.
it was,
like
his leg got
A mitten.
a mitten?
It was
Or-
not a mitten, but
It's like-
the ball came out like he
just
was
a thumb spot?
His problem was his leg got hit like third
Yeah.
play of the game. He's out for the year
Yeah.
again. But I wonder how many those Utah boosters that have spent $2 million last 2 years for what? Their last place in the Big 12. All their Utah fans were like looking down at the whole Big 12. We're going to come in here and we'll rule it. They're 0 or what are they? 1-3 in league, second to last place. $2 million for what? They sucked last year. He didn't play. This year he sucked even worse. Lost him a game in the meantime, and now they're on to a true freshman.
Can I ask you a question? We're done with this.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, at what point do those boosters say, "I just spent $100,000 or $200,000 to that"? Well, I'm not doing that again. I'm paying money for this kid,
Yeah, that makes
and it
sense.
didn't work out for me.
They'll do it again when they start winning. I wonder if he gets all that money. Number one, I wonder if it's paid out throughout the year and if they're like back out. Question. It somewhat relates. Have we had a bad quarterback?
This year,
Ever.
Go through our history.
Southwick wasn't great.
He actually wasn't that bad.
Really?
Like if you look at his numbers,
Okay.
he
I'll believe
wasn't
you.
bad.
Okay.
Okay, name the worst quarterback in the last 20 years.
Tony Hildy? I don't know.
Was he in 20? I don't
Dude,
think he was in the
Hildy led us
2000s.
to the championship.
I'm just throwing out an old name.
Is it Talon?
He got a lot of money to go to
Okay,
Arkansas.
well, I'm just saying that the fact that we can't say we've had a bad quarter. I
Yeah.
don't understand why Utah can't field a good quarterback that can take care of the ball. You throw in Mad Dog.
Cam Rising is a good quarterback.
Well, okay.
He just
What
has
about
been
last
hurt
year?
a
And
ton.
I'm saying that. Look who we had. Maddox came in and did a good job. He's doing a good job this year. It's like where are these big programs that don't have multiple guys in the slot
Instead of
ready to go
Isaac
in?
Wilson, who's a
Well,
And
freshman.
you're like,
I-
what's going on?
If we're talking about Utah, I think you could argue that their offensive coordinator just stepped down today.
Correct.
They promoted
Correct.
the analyst to offensive coordinator. And I saw Pete Thamel or someone tweet, he was the offensive coordinator at Northwestern the last 3 years. His offense is ranked 120, 123, and 125.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid, right? So those are his coaches he's had. Those are the two guys
Was it
that
so
those
it's the coaching.
quarterbacks have had.
So we've had great coaching.
Well, so they have Isaac Wilson, who was a 4-star, the top recruit in the state of Utah last year. They have Sam Heward, which is
Heward. Yeah,
Brock
Brock.
Heward's nephew or son or whatever. He was a 5-star quarterback. They got another guy, Rose, who was a 4-star. They
have
have
over time.
talent.
Yeah.
Their problem is coaching, in my opinion, if you want to ask me
Well, I
about
think
that.
you look at Isaac Wilson and,
He's just young. He's a true freshman.
He's young. He could be good.
Yeah, he's a true freshman.
And he's
so.
good for a freshman, but he's a freshman.
It's got to suck for
Yeah.
him thinking, Rising's going to be in there another 3 years.
yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Well, look at our coaching. I mean, we have Dirk, who's amazing.
Amazing.
Bush. I mean, we've had a
Oh,
different
boy.
head coach
Oh.
the last
Yeah.
6 years.
I mean, we haven't had
Different
I don't
offensive
know.
coordinator coach.
Yeah, no,
Anyway.
that has made it tough. But no, we've been pretty lucky, I think. I think the flip side of that, though, is we've had the top recruiting classes in the Mountain West, 1 or 2 with San Diego State for the last 10 years. And we haven't had an all-league quarterback since Brett Rippon, which is interesting. I think that's kind of interesting.
Is
And it wasn't like, oh, it's anti-BSU bias. We haven't had a quarterback.
Was he our least successful quarterback in the last 20 years?
Hank,
Dude.
no, he won one league championship while he was here.
Did he?
But he was out. It was Jalen Henderson.
Oh.
Right? Maybe there was one more, but I think that was the only one that we won. He didn't even play in the game.
Because he came here with Harsin.
Yeah, he was a Harsin guy. Finished with Plow. Literally finished with Plow.
They both finished together.
They left together.
They left together. Anyway, I just think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Can we go into the tweets of the week?
Tweets of the week.
Tweets of the week. Here
I
we
feel
go.
like we
I
need
think
like
that's-
some music segment for
We'll
tweets.
get
of
it.
the week.
I'll give you I'll give you music right now, bro.
Oh crap!
Oh,
crap.
no.
No.
Later.
Okay. Yeah. Just tell me when. I'll give you music.
Yeah. Do I need to pull it?
Okay.
up?
Yeah. So the first one's actually cool. It is cool. Do you know a Nathan Carroll?
I've seen he's all over X. He's a big BSU guy.
So
Seems
he's a big
young
BSU guy. I don't know who he is.
I don't know him.
He's got 700 followers
Whoa.
on Twitter, on X, excuse me. He tweeted out something that was.
It's up.
It's up. Okay, good. So let's talk about it. Travis Hunter, the two-way player from Colorado,
Yeah.
went on an interview with
We talked about this while
RG3.
you were doing
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Like we already talked about this while you were doing. What was he doing?
Oh, was it Mexico?
Brandon was
No,
doing
I was setting up guests.
No, just now.
No,
like
on
in
the
this
pod.
episode. Like
Oh, yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes ago.
I was there. Okay, I was there. Okay, that's fine. But the full discussion was this. He's on I think with RG3.
Okay.
He's on the podcast with RG3, and he's like, "Hey, you're doing really well. What about this Ashton Jeanty guy?" And he said, and Travis says, "Well, if I have 95 catches, how many yards do you think I have? How many touchdowns do you think I have?" Right. So it kind of sparks this.
This is the second time the listeners have heard this from us, but go ahead.
All right.
Is it?
Yep. Yeah. It's okay.
Was I donating?
You were, yeah,
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
doing
yeah,
bucks.
you
That's
were
what you're
donating.
doing.
Oh,
That's
wow,
what you're
I
doing.
really lost it.
Anyways,
Anyway, Nathan Carroll tweets out. Matt, do you want to read it?
It's up there. If Travis Hunter had 95 catches, he would be having the best wide receiver season ever. But he doesn't, so he's not. Ashton Jeanty is having the best running back season since Barry Sanders. Vote on facts, not ifs.
So
good tweet.
So Ashton, how many impressions and views does that have from a person that has 700 followers?
Oh, you said that it was like
3.5 million.
Wow.
So like went viral in
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
did.
ways,
Yeah,
which
it
is
did.
pretty cool.
Yeah, good for
I
him.
think. So I mean, it's a message that resonates.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is one of my first tweets of the week. I think that was a cool one from a local BSU guy.
Well, the same thing too is that like receiving, I mean, people average between 10 and 18, 19 yards of reception. That's like decently good. To average 10 yards a carry is insane.
Right.
You can't even compare. It's not even apples to apples.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Anyways.
I mean,
Good for Carroll or Nathan.
Nathan
yeah,
Carroll.
I think that's cool. You know,
Yeah.
I think shout out to him on that. Getting a viral tweet is pretty cool.
I just like, we already talked about this part, obviously, but Jeanty's response to it, right? Jeanty's not like having a war with Travis Hunter. And I think Travis Hunter is trying to put others down to lift himself up, right? And Jeanty's like, my resume speaks for itself. I don't need to get into this fight over if you caught, 95 passes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
The hard part is they're not mute. Like they're both good. It's not like
yeah.
one's good and one's bad, right? So they're both really good. Second tweet of the week. This is becoming a hilarious weekly occasion.
yeah,
I think it's so freaking funny.
it's a clever troll.
It's so good. Brian Harsin tweets every Monday. It's
it.
the winner's tweet, right?
Yeah, here it is. New week, new opportunities. Cheers to the winners.
That's it. That's all he posts.
That's all he posts.
And like clockwork, the Auburn fans come out of the woodwork. Can I just read a little bit
Go
of
ahead.
some of the comments
Go
that they've had?
Is this going to be G-rated, PG-rated?
I can do the G-rated or the X-rated. Anyway, there's just some, hey, coach, is your phone blowing up with tons of coaching offers? I don't think so. I don't know. Create a dumpster fire, leave the dumpster fire, make fun of the man cleaning up the dumpster fire. Got it. Cheers to the unemployment bum. You ruined my life, loser.
Harsin ruined that guy's life. Oh my gosh.
This
I love
person
Harsin.
says something that's X-rated. Anyway, everybody's like, just go delete this app, you blank.
Yeah.
Another week of unemployment for you. It's every week.
Unemployment on their dime.
On
and
their
he knows
dime.
it,
What
and
was
they
it?
know it, and he loves it. It's awesome.
15 million that they're paying him to tweet on Mondays, dude. It's hilarious. It's like a must follow. Like it is a must follow.
You know, I don't know every time, but I think it's every time Auburn loses. He is when he posts it.
I think he
Which
posts
is
every
frequent.
Monday.
I think it's every Monday, but it is frequent that they're losing, and they're still blaming him.
Well, he
swear.
tweeted last week, or
Missouri's quarterback.
Missouri's
'cause
quarterback.
he came back and won the game.
Oh, yeah, I
against
saw that.
Auburn.
Oh,
Yeah, because it was over Auburn.
I love Harsin. I love that he's sitting in Eagle, Idaho, just chilling,
Just-
on their dime, and they cannot stand it. They want him to
Yeah.
die.
Well, dude, their
They
coach
want him-
now is worse than Harsin.
Dude, he's worse
So,
than Harsin.
That's interesting. So we should talk about that. Hugh Freeze is not doing well.
No.
Is this a blame it on the last president type of situation? Because Hugh Freeze could be like, well, Harsin left me this.
They can't
Right.
blame it. You can't blame
do
it
it
on
anymore,
that
man. Look at some of these
It's
teams
true.
that make the turnaround in like one season. I mean, just you can overhaul your roster. There's no limits. You can kick guys up. You can't blame the past guy anymore, especially the second year in. This isn't his first year. This is his
True.
second year.
Yeah.
Harsin only made it a year and a half.
Yeah.
I think they were too quick to fire Gus Malzahn. I think they should have stuck it out with Gus because he beat Alabama 3 out of 5 times. He was like doing well, and obviously hindsight's 2020. But you look back, and Gus Malzahn did way better than the following coaches. And to Harsin's credit, like I don't think he was given the best of opportunities there.
No.
Like they weren't behind him at all, and the change of the AD
Yes.
that was horrible for
Right.
him. And then once that happened, he had nobody in his corner at all. So that
Nobody.
wasn't going to work out. That was just not going to work out.
They treat his family so poorly from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard stories about that they ran his kids out of. They're
It's a heavy price you pay,
Yeah.
but you get paid.
You get paid. That's a question I have for him. Is it worth the money? I mean, it's a lot of money, but his family, like you said, Mark, can't have been treated very. They weren't treated very well.
We need to ask Bedell. Bedell went down with him for a year or two.
That's true.
Or a year or two.
year and a half.
2 year and a half.
Year and a half.
I don't know, man. I just that's wild. I think
You'd have to think he's in a much healthier spot now, getting paid and not having to deal. I mean, if he only has to deal with tweets.
Speaking of Brian Harsin, I think I maybe texted you guys this. We like Harsin, right? I mean, I think Harsin and Brett Rippon, they were here at the same time, and they remind me of each other in the sense that we did not appreciate either one of them when they were here. Now, Grant, I know there's people out there listening that hated Brian Harsin for whatever reason, but after going through the Andy Avalos era, Brian Harsin wasn't so bad. And Brett Rippon never got the credit he deserved when he was here because he wasn't Kellen Moore, because the team wasn't Kellen Moore.
We just thought
that team.
We just thought Kellen Moore's would keep coming.
Yeah, and looking back, he's like, the Mountain West leader in
Still in the NFL.
He's in the NFL. So he was. So we didn't. I think in a way, and I know there's differing opinions on Harsin, but I think obviously going through, we'll see how Danielson ends up. I know everything's high on Danielson. We'll see in a couple years where Danielson really is, But Andy Avalos was a complete train wreck, and Harsin.
I mean,
Who was
the
I don't think we respected him as
Who was
much.
the AD when Harsin was here?
Great. Here
Don't
we
get me
go.
started. You wonder why I'm salty. You bring up this BS, okay?
Can you post this picture? Can you post this picture?
Bring it.
Okay,
I know what picture
I'm
you're
gonna send
talking
you this
about.
picture. You need to post this right now.
I got coaxed into this conversation with our boy, and I was respectful.
Yeah.
Send this picture.
Photo cred to who?
BJ Raines. So we're up in the press box chilling in between times of the Utah State game.
Yep.
And we haven't been super nice to Kurt Apsey
Not quite.
on the pod. Kurt Apsey walks by, and Mark and him have a few words. Nothing bad, all cordial. And
That image
BJ
doesn't work.
and-
The format. Something's up with the
Oh,
format.
really?
So yeah.
BJ must have a
well,
Mint phone or something.
yeah, a Mint phone, a Gab.
Boost Mobile.
Well, anyway, it's a picture of Mark and Kurt, And Kurt was really nice. Obviously,
yeah, he was nice.
He's a
I
nice
said, "Hey,
guy.
thanks for coming."
But BJ's
Good to
like,
see
"Go
you."
talk to him." Go talk to him. He just kept like baiting you
it.
to go do. And
I
you did
did
it.
it.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Harsin. You can't talk about Boise State's success and not include Harsin in there.
He was an offensive coordinator at our best time.
Dude, he was a player here.
He was a player, but he didn't do anything when he played. But Harsin should be respected. Though. I mean, I know that I still feel like his attitude that really rubbed people. He's a little gruff, a little rough around the edges, a little bit, and that does rub some people the wrong way. But I would argue that his biggest beefs are because he's hyper competitive, and he had an AD that was lazy, putting in the last 5 years of his career, and it drove him nuts. And we see the result of that. Speaking of the Big 12, we should be in the Big 12 if we had an AD like Jeremiah Dickey when Harsin was here. We would be. I really feel like that. And it drove Harsin nuts. And Apsey. And the Mount West commissioner.
I think he was driving Leon nuts, but Leon's like took it.
Leon was just, I don't know. Leon
don't.
He was comfortable. But I don't know. I think that was the biggest thing. And then he left. Right. And if he had Jeremiah Dickey, not saying he wouldn't have left, but I think that would have worked out a lot better for Harsin if Jeremiah Dickey was here. But speaking of Harsin, I wonder when he goes back into coaching.
Well, he's watching his son Davis play.
I mean, he's probably redshirting at best, right?
Well, okay. He's going up. And Dan Hawkins and Cody Hawkins up there. So that's got to be fun for him.
Let me throw this out there.
Utah State's
going to have a new head coach.
I don't want that.
You want to know who else is going to have a new head coach? UNLV. After this year. No way Odom's staying another year. Yeah. Staying in the Mountain West, forget about it. Odom's gone.
I love how Mark
So is you. No,
I self-respected coach will stay at Nevada.
I said that. I doubled down on that. So Harsin, I could see Harsin in Vegas. Maybe not Logan, but I could see Harsin in Vegas. I think Kess would like it. I think
Utah State.
I think Utah State's a little bit of a stretch. Why would you? I don't know if I see. I think he could be at Utah State and be successful.
That's a short drive to
and
Pocatello, right? Drive up
UNLV,
to Pocatello from Logan.
UNLV's
that's
not
a good
the Pac-12.
point. That's a good point. I could see him maybe at either. We were saying San Diego State might be a good place for him.
What about Fresno?
They're going to need a new head coach too because they're not having a great year and they have an interim. I think we might see him next year. 2 years off.
So at the presser today, who was it? Johnny Mallory asked Dirk, and he's like, "Why is Spencer Danielson good?"
Mm-hmm.
And Dirk nailed it. He's like, he's the perfect coach for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
He's high energy. He's all about them. He's not overly aggressive. He probably has some guys on the staff that like gets after the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Danielson's turned out to be the best coach possible. But a lot of people wanted Harsin. And it makes sense because Harsin, I thought, had an incredible, obviously he was really good here. He had a ton of success here. You have the benefit of JD now.
Mm-hmm.
And so he could have had a ton of success. It would make me sad if he left and went somewhere else. It would make me really sad. Plus, I always thought if the contract, I've never understood how this works. If the contract with Auburn says we're going to pay you minus whatever you're paid at your coaching job, take a $1 salary and give your assistants a ton of money. Because Auburn's paying you to coach now. And now we all of a sudden our assistants are making $600,000-$700,000. And now we're like, have some consistency where we wanted it, right? So I never knew how that dynamic would work out.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a stipulation there that has to be market value or something. I don't know.
Sure, can't take a buck.
Yeah, I would assume they'd try to take you to court for that maybe, but I don't know. I could see him coaching again. He's not going to get as much as we like him, he's not going to get a power forward job right off the bat after what happened at Auburn.
Maybe.
So he'll need to go P4 OC or G5 coach. That's my opinion, obviously, but I think that's fairly standard.
The P4 OC is actually way more enticing than a head coach.
Probably.
Especially if you don't have to recruit.
Yeah, like Dirk. So I could see either one of those, but I highly doubt he sits around for another. I think next year he's coaching somewhere, but I could.
How
see
about
him.
this? A G5 OC.
I don't think so. No,
we're gonna need a new.
He's
OC.
not coming to work.
Why? Dirk did it. Why? Don't have to recruit. Go to McCall.
Yeah, but
see your son play.
Dirk's in a different place in his career.
Yeah, Good point.
I do know.
Yeah, good point. Good call. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Is it because Harsin isn't?
Why is
old
Dirk?
enough?
Why is Dirk at a different point in his career than
Because he's
Harsin?
65 and Harson's 50.
Okay. So he could OC coach here with Danielson. He's got a good thing going in a place that you like, and just coach.
Dude, yeah, and Harsin would have
dude,
time to do his
outta
tweets.
here.
I don't know.
Keep tweeting the Monday winner, baby.
I feel-
which we got to anyway.
Do you want my opinion on that?
Oh,
I
you're
just-
gonna give it like a dog to its vomit. You're gonna
Okay,
give it
of
anyway.
course I am.
Go.
I just think that would be hard. Harsin hired Danielson. I just think that would be a hard pill to swallow at this stage in his career, because I think he still wants to be head coach.
Yeah, probably
Dirk's
part
not-
of it. Sorry,
Go ahead.
your argument is that if he does this, you're kind of saying this is the end of my career. Kind of like if you were to say Dirk is doing this, I don't think Dirk's going to take another job
No.
after this.
I don't think so.
And if Harsin were to do the same thing, people may get the perception like, well, he's just going to do this. And
Harsin's been getting into political forays,
yeah,
so maybe he's ready to like do other stuff. Maybe he just wants
Governor?
to coach.
I don't know.
Hey,
I
never say never.
I-
The answer's
anyways.
always no until you ask.
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll
Anyway, two more things I want to talk about. One's really serious,
Oh,
and one's kind of like bugs me.
it's getting late in the night for serious. Let's do it.
Can we do the bug me one?
Sure.
Did you see the Patrick Mahomes? Did you just text me something?
No.
No? Oh. Did you see Patrick Mahomes QB fake go out of bounds?
No.
I
We're gonna-
I watched it again.
We're going to play it. We're going to play it right over this.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
there
think
it
they
was.
gave him more credit than.
I hate that crap.
yeah,
I hate that crap. I hate that that Mahomes does it.
I agree.
Oh, I hate it so much.
Because how bad do those guys want to light him up on the sideline?
And
And they have to lay off.
and they'll never do this, but when the quarterback runs, you should treat him like a running back. They should not protect him and just let him get destroyed whenever he's out there roaming around. They'll never do that because they want to protect their assets of the
Right,
quarterback. So
right.
they'll all protect him. But he's running to the sideline. He kind of fakes going out. So people like stop-ish, and then he runs up another 15 yards to go into to the 5-yard line. And you're like,
way.
you cheap son of a bitch.
That's like the fake slide a few years ago.
Bastard.
They had to change the rule in college football for that.
Yeah.
You start to, then that's where.
You're down. Yeah. That just bugs me. As a defensive player,
Oh, that would drive me nuts.
oh my gosh, you're just pounded into you every day. Don't hit this guy. Don't hit this guy. You're going to cause a penalty.
Yeah.
And then when you have a truce, an unspoken truce, he breaks that truce, dude.
I'd light him up. The next game, someone has to light that dude
light
up.
him up.
Take the 15-yarder in the
Do
fine.
it.
You know
Absolutely
what?
do it.
Just GoFundMe it from
The
the rest
whole-
of the defensive
exactly.
players in the league just to light the dude
Exactly.
up. That's what I would do.
No,
I didn't
I'm
even see
not,
the clip, but it bugs me already. Just
Yeah,
hearing about
that drives me nuts. Like I think, as a maybe quote unquote old school football viewer, man, like there's a social consequence for that. You know what I
There
mean?
should be. There should be.
Yeah,
Under-
there
that-
shouldn't be praise for the fake out of bounds.
No,
It's,
that's like
it's
in
stupid.
You know,
That's
baseball has the unwritten rule, like you bean someone if they do certain
You
things
get
or
him
whatever.
back. Yeah,
Someone needs to get him back next week. You know what I mean?
they have to be.
Who's it going to be?
I don't
Don't you
know.
think?
Who are they
Step
playing?
up.
That dude.
They have to be.
That team.
And then Taylor Swift's legal team's going to get after that
Oh,
defense
Watch
hard,
out.
dude.
Watch out,
Well, it
dude.
depends on the terms, like where they're at in their relationship. Travis
Yeah,
Kelce
maybe.
and
Yeah, I think the
Brittany
contract
Mahomes
that
and-
they signed included.
We actually have a ton of crap. We could talk another hour. We won't. Don't worry, people. We won't.
Well, we can.
The,
I mean, there's
the
really
Texas,
what?
the Texas Georgia game. Did you watch that?
Yeah. Well,
The
hold on. No, I
bottles.
didn't. Oh, I saw that. I saw that part.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I didn't see it
everyone's
happen.
probably
I
already
heard
talked about
about
it. I
it.
saw it live.
Did you
Unreal.
really?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
So immediately the announcers, Herbie and his partner,
Yeah.
immediately they
Fowler.
brought in the rules guy, and they all agreed that it was a bad call before they changed the call. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
they don't.
What was the call? Pass interference?
They called pass interference,
And
and
that
the guy
negated
picked it and negated almost a pick six.
and it wasn't pass interference.
So no, it really wasn't. There was a little bit of both guys like put their hands on each other a little bit, but like even the rules guy said no, that shouldn't be called. That
You
shouldn't be
can't
called.
review a
Well, that's
penalty.
the thing. So what happens is Sarkisian is going nuts. They're looking at the big video board, right?
Yeah.
He's going nuts, yelling at the officials. And then the student section just fill up the entire end zone with beer bottles, water bottles, everything. It was a 7-minute delay to clean up the field, to do everything.
Sark went out to the field and was like,
Yeah, he was telling people to
"Whoa,
stop.
whoa."
So the cheerleaders, everyone gets out there. In the meantime, They're showing the replay a la Blunt Punch, okay? The crowd is going nuts. and you can't tell me the refs didn't see it. So the refs, they call the penalty, right? They converse, and then they call it immediately. And then all this
They
hell
take the
breaks
penalty
loose.
away.
No.
Oh, they call the pass interference.
Yeah, they call it pass interference. They already talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Just like they always do. The guy comes over, I saw a pass interference, whatever. Well, all this happens, and then all of a sudden, the ref is like, he's like motioning people to be quiet. and then he goes, after review, no, not review, after discussion, there was no pass interference, and the place goes crazy. And now Kirby Smart on the other side is just flipping out. And it's just like, what? You can't, it's unreviewable. They did get the right call.
But he said they didn't review it.
Yeah, so
They just
they're
talked
not
about
allowed
it.
to, they talked about it. You can't use a video board.
Right.
Whatever they did, they couldn't do.
Right.
And Kirby Smart rightfully is livid. And they're like, they took 6 minutes to clean up the field. So now you're rewarding team fans for throwing stuff on the field.
Give you time.
So the SEC went ahead and they fined the school $250,000 today or yesterday. And then they said,
Chump change.
and then they told the University of Texas they have to use all means necessary to try to identify the fans that threw out the bottles.
yeah,
all this
okay.
crap.
Did you
Sure.
see some screenshots that were being posted of people at the game getting text messages saying you've been identified as throwing stuff?
No, they don't.
Whether or not they're legit, but yeah,
Have you seen
screenshots
the-
were posted.
You know the Batman movie where they're like, "Hey, if you have any suspects on Batman," and they look up, it's Bigfoot, and it's like the Yeti. That's what they're gonna do.
That's what I would do. I would protect my students if I was.
So new strategy. We're at BSU Stadium.
Yeah.
A controversial call happens. Start throwing tortillas.
Tortillas. Bring it back.
And then they call timeout to clean everything up, and then while they got a timeout, then they just have time to and we don't burn a timeout.
Exactly.
and
It worked out for
tortillas
them.
are biodegradable.
It'll just
in the blue
tortilla
turf and
plants.
just kind of go in there and
They'll
smush.
sweep them up.
That's wild.
Dude.
Hey, did you see the most recent team that
Miami
got protected
again, 3 times, dude. It's
The forward
unbelievable.
throw?
Yes.
Forward motion?
Yeah.
And it was again. They changed it. It was a close call.
They changed
but they
it.
changed it.
A fumble to a forward
They could
pass.
have 3 losses.
But that's what they're supposed to do is to let it go, though, right?
They
the
should-
fumble.
Well, yeah, but we're saying they didn't have enough evidence to
overturn
overturn
it.
the call on the field either time. Really, in the second
Yeah,
game, they missed
it's-
like a classic targeting. They
I've
missed
never
like a
seen
ton
a
of stuff.
team. I've never seen a team basically be protected by the referee for 3 games.
Tom Brady and the New England Patriots.
It would be like 3 games.
Yeah,
dude.
3. What was it? The Brady rule. 3 Brady rules in a row.
Yeah. It just
It's
crazy.
why is it at the point where you just look back and like, yeah, they're gonna.
That's just what it is. We were watching some game and I was like, oh, and it didn't happen. But I just assume if there's a close call and your team is near the top of the standings,
You were talking about,
it
was a BYU game.
Yeah. What was it? But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Whatever they did. But it's just like my first assumption is the officials will protect the higher ranked team, and I
think
hate
it was
to think that
it
way.
was a spot to give them the first down, and they didn't give them the spot to BYU,
okay.
and they had to punt or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember, but anyways, it's happened to them 3 times. Luck, no luck, I don't know, but seems iffy.
Well, I wonder if you're a team that plays them like who was it? Virginia Tech. Can you sue? Dumb question, but you sue. Things come out of Discovery.
What?
You go to the refs
Was
and you
that
see if you
game
get any
at
texts.
Miami or Virginia Tech?
I don't
at Virginia Tech.
remember.
Why didn't they throw stuff?
Bro,
Was
dumb.
it at Virginia?
Texas is like next
Yeah.
level smart.
Dude.
Speaking of Texas, I like the team Texas. I've always liked
I have no
the
issues with Texas.
I can't stand Sark.
Why?
I can't
wrong with
stand
Sark?
Sark. Well, you follow him through his career. Number one,
He's had
I didn't
issues.
think he was great at Washington, right? They had a huge upgrade when they got Peterson. He goes down to USC. He's had a ton of issues there. Then he goes to like kind of passes himself around. He goes to Alabama, quits when they need him the most, right before the championship game to go to the Falcons or whatever.
Is that what that was? Okay.
And then all like last year, do you remember he's coming out of the tunnel to start the game?
Oh yeah, I remember that. He's like,
And
he did something wrong.
somebody's like holding him back, saying,
Oh,
"Hey,
just
hold
flip
on."
it out.
And then he gets he's swearing at that guy
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, like a security guard guy.
Like 0 to 100.
Yeah, I remember
Like he's
that.
sitting there, he's just looking forward, and the security guy's just holding him back, say, "Hey, you can't enter the field yet." And he's like, don't touch me, this stuff like that. And then on game day, ESPN Game Day on Saturday, which I don't watch traditionally.
Okay.
They're like, "Oh, Sark, he's so calm, he's so like measured, and this and that." And I'm thinking, dude, he freaking bit that guy's head off, like whatever is happening there. But on game day, to their credit, Saban's like, Texas hasn't played anybody. They're not as good as they are ranked.
Yeah, and they haven't. They hadn't, right?
I mean,
They got
Michigan.
destroyed.
They got
which was-
Louisiana Monroe.
Michigan
It's a big win.
in the house, which, carried a lot more. The name carried a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
interesting.
I just haven't been a huge I haven't
He's
been a
got a
huge
little
Sark
used
guy.
car salesman kind of feel to him a little bit.
From the outside.
But he
yeah.
went to BYU, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Must be an outstanding citizen. So I don't know why take it back, man. 84. Come on, dude. Take it back.
That was a good team when he played. 2000?
I have no idea.
Played with that running back Luke
2000,
guy or
was it
whatever.
that? Was he Luke Staley?
Luke Staley, yeah.
It feels like too recent for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, I thought he was older than that, but his hairline says he's a
90,
little older
I
than
think
that.
you're thinking
98.
of like Brandon Doman.
Doman.
The Dominator, dude.
When did Sark play for BYU? Look it up.
You're way, yeah.
All right.
98?
Well, we got to
Okay.
do some. Sorry.
Serious,
Oh, yeah, one
serious,
more.
one more.
Okay.
Do you mind?
I don't mind. I hesitate how many people want to listen to us this long.
Well,
Go
look,
ahead.
turn it off, or just if you're
Okay.
cleaning out
What
your
do we
garage,
got?
keep cleaning out your garage,
Okay.
whatever.
95 for Sark.
So
Who was the running back that year? Because that was the
don't
first year of the BCS.
95 was not. 98 was the first year. Minor. Move on to the next one, dude. Move on. Move on.
You're-
Take the L. Move on.
You're rewriting
Move on.
history.
Move on.
I just remember listening to an interview, and they're like, "Oh, they didn't pick you, and are you upset that they didn't pick you for this bowl game?" And Sark's like, "Oh, I don't know, whatever, honor code, I don't know." Okay,
I don't know.
BSU. There's some reports coming out this week from the Statesman. The Sean Goodman guy did a
Okay.
pretty good job.
Okay.
Also, the local guy,
Don Day?
Boise Dev, Don Day,
Donde.
did a story kind of piggybacking on Sean Goodman.
Okay.
BSU's decision to not play the San Jose State volleyball girls team because there was a transgender male on the team. Are you leaving?
Nope.
Are you uncomfortable
No,
or what?
no, not at all. This is
Can
what
I-
my tweet to Jeremiah was about, actually. My
Well, you
DM.
tweeted him about.
No, my DM.
Well, you DM'd him about
Yes.
doing a fundraiser.
Yes.
For that. So
He texted me back, but it was like it had already passed. It was like
Yeah, the
we
moment was
missed the
gone.
we
Yeah.
missed the wave. But go
So,
ahead.
so BSU comes out and says the team, I guess, came out and said we're not playing San Jose State.
Right.
This was the second team that decided not to do that. I guess there was a
And it's
Utah
happened a few
Tech or
more
something.
since, yeah.
Then Utah State,
Yep.
Wyoming,
Yep.
and Nevada.
Nevada.
Come on.
They're still
And Nevada's like, we're not
that's-
going to play. And then the university's like, you're damn right, you're going to play.
Yeah.
you're not going to play.
Yeah.
You're going to play.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of going through that battle a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they said like you're gonna play. If you choose not to play, there's gonna be no penalty, right?
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
weird.
I know why they did that. Do you want?
Nevada?
So all these other teams that canceled gave no reason.
Right.
The Nevada team,
They did.
they did, and they specified we're not doing this because there's transgender
So
player, whatever.
who made that
The
announcement?
players did. They came out with like a statement. The players did, and the schools like frick, state law of Nevada, Title IX, whatever.
Who's gonna sue
They're
them,
worried
like
about getting
ACLU?
sued. Yeah,
Yeah.
any of it. So that's why they had to come out and say, no,
Yeah,
we're,
no.
they got to play, but we won't. So I don't know if they're in
okay.
favor of them or not. But
the governor of Nevada was strongly for them not playing.
yeah. So it depends on where you are politically, where that's going to lay, right? But that's why the school they basically had to because they're afraid of getting sued.
That
Whereas
makes sense.
Boise State, they didn't come out with any reasoning. They just said we're not playing. So what are you going to sue them for, right?
Which I think gave the school a pretty bad look because
Which
it's
school?
It did Nevada.
Nevada, because they have these players who
Yeah.
are saying, this is our thought on it. We don't want to play.
Right. Yeah.
We're taking a stand, and then the university is like, we don't have your back.
They kind of had to, but
They
yeah,
had to.
it's a bad look.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
was interesting in the articles is that it came out, it wasn't like game time decision. Like,
It's still this week. It's still scheduled like for tomorrow or something.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well,
so I don't
anyway,
know if they're going to play or
Can I
not.
play?
The Nevada one?
play.
Are you
I'll
talking
play.
about the
I'll
Nevada
play,
one or
dude.
the
The Nevada one.
Oh, okay, I'm talking about the Boise State one.
Oh, okay, sorry.
The Boise State one wasn't like a game time decision.
No.
There was emails going back and forth, which the public information request thing, these guys have to hate it. I'm sure so many conversations happen on like Snapchat or on phone because they're like, they can't. And so there was limited emails, but certainly there was a bunch of emails going back and forth between Dickey to a number of like in-house counsel.
I think Trump was
in a couple of them, which Trump, to her credit. And so I'm in favor of them not playing. I want men out of women's sports. Okay. I thought Trump wouldn't have supported that.
Okay. I didn't read these emails. Okay.
Well, Trump didn't come out and say, no, you have to play. We're playing. Right. Trump.
Did she say anything though?
The one email that they referenced was there's some people that want us to play. And her point was, hey, there's this like chain forward where people are like copying the message and forwarding it to me. Can you look into that? Is what the email that they got from her.
Yeah.
But the emails about Dickey were, hey, let's look into this. What's this? What's that? And then there was a donor email, like a donor that gives money to BSU. I don't know how much money that was really upset and said, hey, we're on the side of the bigots on this one. We're not.
Wait, what? So
a donor emailed Dickey saying, hey, we're supporting bigotry by not playing San Jose State.
Okay.
And we're on that side, and it really disappointed. And I'm not going to give money anymore.
Oh,
and Dickey came out and said, hey, look, this was my decision. Everything comes to me. I take all the blame. Hopefully you'll reconsider and you'll give money to BSU, but like it all stops here, right?
Yeah, okay.
It was just an interesting look into kind of the process during the aftermath a little bit. I think overwhelmingly nationwide and not in this community especially, that is supported and like I think good. And so I think they're safe there. But it was a super interesting event that occurred at BSU in the first of really a wave of, this similar from in the Mountain West, but something that I support. Hopefully it continues there, right? And then there's a lawsuit. One of the San Jose State players is suing,
like the Mountain West and the NCAA for allowing the transgender
player
kid to play. Yeah,
kind of interesting.
Yeah, we're yeah, it is interesting.
Okay, yeah. Mark has like a million comments on everything, and then
I've got lots of thoughts on this. I just feel I don't know the rule as it's stated, but it's just a weird position to be in that this is even a conversation.
Yeah, it is.
And so it needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah. There's a rule.
There's a reason that there's men's teams and women's teams. I'll leave it at that.
I thought the rule
I appreciate. There's one tweet I've made that actually did not go as viral as Carroll's,
but
got pretty big, hundreds of thousands, I believe.
Wow,
maybe not that many, several thousand. It was a lot for me.
Yeah,
and it was
tens of thousands.
It was that day that came out, and I said something to the effect of being in support of Boise State. Proud to be an alum of Boise State, and it has nothing to do with the football team or something to that effect. And it was clearly directed in that. And I do support Boise State's decision in doing that because as a father of, it doesn't even matter, but I have a daughter that plays sports. Girls should be playing girls. Boys should be playing boys, period. If you want.
The rule is kind of interesting that the Mountain West has like a specific rule. If you clear this particular test, you can play.
Yeah. So, and again, that's why I don't want to speak too much to it because I don't know the ins and outs of this individual, so I don't want to speak too much on it. I just think in general, that's how I feel.
For me, the question is how many of this type of player, a transgender player, does it take? Like if you had a full team of them, then is it like, whoa, wait a second, right? Because one, it's like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Come on, just play the game.
Yeah.
But for me, that's the entire principle of it. Is it doesn't matter if it's one, it doesn't matter if it's 20.
Yeah.
The like Mark said, it should be men against women. So that's my thought on it, and I think it's to keep people safe, and I think it's just I don't know why.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I interrupted. Go ahead.
I don't know why a lot of women are so adamant about allowing this because I really do think it's going to if it's allowed to progress. It will ruin women's sports. It already is.
Yeah.
And so it's just very interesting to me that it's like we want to be so inclusive, but we're inclusive of this thing that I think is deteriorating the integrity of women's sports.
Well, and it's not just about safety because I feel the same way about golf. There's a transgender golfer that's going through the Q school for the LPGA Tour.
Yeah.
Was a male, transitioned after puberty.
This guy does not look like a girl, by the way. He
No,
wears like
not
women's
at all.
skirts.
I mean, Leah Thomas. Come on now, but
I know. But
so
like,
I
bad.
saw the LPGA players, like 175 of them or something. Professional golfers wrote a letter saying that this can't happen. But as it stands right now, I don't know their rules either. But it's going on. I mean, the Leah Thomas thing was a complete joke.
Yeah.
I mean, complete joke. Fully intact male. Swam for 3 years, and now all of a sudden he's record breaker.
Hanging out in the women's locker room.
Hey, and that goes back to and if you guys, Riley Gaines, we don't need to go over the whole thing, but that was just absolutely ridiculous. The way they treated those women, and it's like I don't know if we're going into the whole. I feel for the whole situation, but when it comes to sports, we'll leave it at that. When it comes to sports, it's just like there's a reason that there was a Title IX. There's a reason there's a men's, women, and a girls division. There's reasons.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to do whatever as they grow old and they want to change whatever, that's your prerogative. Yeah. But for the integrity of the sport, for the safety, for everything, they're soon. I mean, it's just
my thought on this is, and I think this is. I read Riley Gaines' book.
I haven't read it yet. I'd like to.
But she talks about women and how women are more nice.
Yeah.
They're more tolerant of things, right? That's just their nature. And so it's not surprising that this would be allowed because they're just nice. Like, oh, yeah, they can do it. We'll see. And then it's like, oh, this is Will Thomas, a 6'4" guy swimming against us. And I don't think this would happen if it were men's sports. If there was some other gender that was like bigger, stronger than men, I don't think they would.
Yeah.
That's my thought. I don't know, but
yeah, it's hard. We're three guys, so it's hard. But it's like, it's just but sometimes women stand up for it and they get destroyed for it. Their schools don't back them up. Look what's going on in Nevada. Like, so it's. I mean, men need to step. But ultimately, and I hate it's easier said than done. But if women leaders in this country, in the Alex Morgans of the world, the Rapinos of the world.
Well, Rapino's not going to do it.
But I'm just saying the ones that are well known, if they took a stand.
Well, here you go, Caitlin Clark,
but they don't want to. They don't want the mess. They don't want the fire that comes with that. Yeah. If they have this conversation, millions of people listen to that conversation. Like,
go crazy.
Yeah, but that's what it's going to take. Powerful women standing up and saying no, in my opinion. But it does feel like it's shifting a little bit. I feel like it's a conversation in the election right now.
I thought Riley Gaines' story was wild when she went on a few podcasts. She was like, I would go to the NCAA, and Mark Emmert would be like, I love what you're fighting for. Keep fighting for it. And she's like, can you come in and talk about it? He's like, no, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And you're like, Emmert, freaking coward.
Coward
on that
cowards.
part. Yeah. Which is wild because Emmert, he lost control of everything. Did you see JD? There's a ton to talk about.
Jeremiah Dickey?
Yeah, came out and was like, we need more scholarships to women at Boise State.
Because Title IX.
Yeah, it's like Title IX's in flux. He also said he fully expects within 10 years or by 2030 that college football will be break away from colleges.
Yeah, it probably needs to.
Yeah. Well,
it would make it more.
I thought was interesting.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and that makes sense. But
anyway, a lot to talk about.
Jeremiah Dickey. So back to my DM to him. So the one thing he has responded to us about, and it was a few days after I sent it, which was already a day late. But I asked him because we saw this, and I was really proud of Boise State and what they did, and so we were going to put together like a GoFundMe, right? And then I was like, crap, I don't know if we can legally do that for the volleyball program. Like, can we advertise it? So I DM'd him. He responded like 2 days later, and that's like, God, we kind of missed the wave here. But he was like, hey, thanks for the support. And I don't think he basically said we could do it, but it was kind of too late. So I never told you guys that, did I? He did respond to that. I
think you did.
San Jose State's asking for like $1,700
because we canceled. They didn't travel.
They said for lost concessions and lost parking.
Oh,
lost revenue.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, that's a tough deal. Her teammates.
The fact that her teammates are going at, is like kind of wild.
Those women are in a really tough spot, man. They're in a really tough spot. The administrator, they're letting this, and It's a tough spot. We could talk about this we could do a whole podcast
who was it?
about this
Clay Travis
topic.
He's pretty vocal on it.
Yeah.
But he was talking about, maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't him, but he's like, if you could pay 5 guys to go play women's basketball and like roll through and win all of it, then maybe it would change.
That would change it.
Yeah. Like 5 guys pay them like $1 million each, and that would change it 1 year. Because they would just win every game by 30, and they win the national championship by 30, and everybody would be like, well, it may not be, I don't know.
Okay.
Can I go?
Predictions?
Do we have?
Is anyone
there's
still
predictions. Crickets. I do want to, at some point, I want to talk more about other Mountain West teams. Like, I think Washington State's cruising still.
They're not Mountain West.
West.
Yeah.
Well,
they're not. They're not
adjacent. Mountain West adjacent. Yeah. And it's like maybe they should be ranked.
They should be ranked. So should UNLV, it seems like.
Yeah, they lost like that. And then also, I thought it was interesting. There was a bunch of chatter going around Pac-12 regrets of teams like USC or UCLA or anybody else that went to the Big Ten or the SEC or whatever that are just getting destroyed at Maryland.
If you're Lincoln Riley, is it better going to USC than leaving Oregon or than staying in Oregon?
I think.
Lincoln Riley coaching. Or
well, he was
not Oregon,
Oklahoma.
I meant Oklahoma.
Okay.
Not
well,
Oregon.
I think the Big Ten
such a tough spot in the SEC too.
I think the Big Ten's easier than the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the idea of staying at the Pac-12 was a good idea. Was ideal for him. I think that fit. But man, I mean, they're getting killed. I mean, Oregon's doing well, but Oregon, that could fall apart at any time. I don't think they were amazing
until Phil Knight quits giving money. It's the cream's going to continue to rise to the top. The teams that have the $15 million. You know what I mean?
I just thought there's some regrets. Not enough to come back.
No, they're getting paid too much money. But yeah, the travel sucks. Like, are you really that excited to go to Maryland and Rutgers? That doesn't sound fun.
The Pac-12 regrets that I think that are out there, a lot of them exist in basketball. And I mean that with how, not that people leaving and wanting to come back. I think Boise State, yes, there's exciting stuff about us, getting Gonzaga, playing Washington State, Oregon State. But I also think about like UNLV, New Mexico.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer to lose those schools in the Pac-12.
Well, I don't want to bring them though. New Mexico.
Can we just have basketball only? I got the pit, man.
Well, then Mountain West would have to find like a full member.
Yeah.
What are your predictions? UNLV, Boise State. I think we're a 7-point favorite.
2.5.
Oh,
2.5.
we're going down.
The biggest
38-35. We win.
BSU wins 38-35. One thing that Dirk said at the presser was, this game will be nothing like the last game we played in the Mountain West Championship. He's like, they got unlucky in a lot of big plays. They would like run it. Why are you making out with the mic? It's distracting.
It's been a long
pod. Anyway, he said, look, the last game we played, the defense was kind of falling all over each other on a few plays. They got unlucky. And then he said our offensive staff didn't know if they'd have a job. So they just started throwing everything at UNLV. They just didn't even know what was going on. It worked. So he's like, we're not even going to run the same plays. It's going to be a totally different offensive scheme. So we kind of had a blowout.
Yeah.
Win last time. What was it, 35-10 or 35-14 or something?
I don't think you can underestimate. I think in college sports especially, the revenge factor. We went down there in their house. We took it to them. We kind of embarrassed them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to predict a loss. I just, it wouldn't shock me at all if we lost. I just think that, I think we might lose.
Hot take?
It's not a hot take. You asked for a score prediction.
What score?
I'm going to say I think we lose this one. I really do.
Wow.
I just think that I like their team. I like their team a lot.
Wow.
I think we score. I think it's like a 41-37 high scoring game, but I think we lose that one. I know, because we'd be out of the top
42-28.
Jeanty would be
winning.
Jeanty would be done. Everything that we're excited about right now, a loss takes it all away pretty much.
So I'm predicting we run away with it.
Okay. I'm predicting a close loss. You're predicting a close win.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but we'll see. Should be good. I'm excited for the game. It's nice to be nervous about a game. Haven't been nervous about a game since Wazoo. Slightly nervous.
Was it 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. start?
8:30 here.
Oh, 8:30 start.
Yeah, it's, it'll be good, though. I wasn't nervous about Oregon because I was expecting so little. This is the first game I'm, really nervous about. It feels good.
Feels great.
But see how it goes. Hopefully we get it done. Hopefully we get it done.
That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and go Broncos.